Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojola from Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's episode, I want to talk about our decisions. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. The best math you can learn is how to calculate the future cost of your current decisions. The best math that you can learn is how to calculate the future cost of your current decisions. Let's pause for a second and think about that. Every decision you make today, big or small, comes with a cost. Some of these costs are immediate, you see them now. Others may not show up for years, but trust me, they will show up. And the ability to calculate that cost, to project its impact into the future, is one of the most valuable skills that you can learn. It's one of the most valuable skills that you can develop. Let us talk a little bit about what it means, why it is very important, and how to start applying this future cost mathematics to your daily life. Let us establish a truth that we often forget. Your life is the sum total of your decisions. Most times we forget this. Most times we let it go as if it doesn't matter. But let me reiterate it to you. Let me repeat it to your hearing. Your life is the sum total of your decisions. Every decision you make right now is how your life will eventually end up. Where you are right now, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, is the result of countless choices you've made along the way. Some were intentional choices, some were reactive, and some may not have felt like decisions at all, but they were decisions. The food you eat, the people you spend time with, the habits you cultivate, the work you choose to do, all of these things add up. All of these decisions add up, and over time, they create a trajectory that determines where you will end up. So here's the question I want to ask you. Are the decisions you are making today setting you up for the future that you want? Or are they creating a future that you will regret? Let me ask you again. Are the decisions you're making today setting you up for the future that you want? Or are they creating a future that you will regret? See, when we talk about the future cost of a decision, we are really talking about its long-term consequences. Every choice you make has a ripple effect. Some are positive, like investing in your education or building healthy habits. Others can be negative, like procrastinating on important tasks or spending money you don't have. This is the tricky part of all this. The cost is not always obvious in the present moment. Eating that slice of cake might feel great now, but what is the cost to your health if you make that choice every single day? Saying yes to every request might keep people happy for now, but what is the cost to your mental health and to the boundaries that you have or claim you have over time? Spending hours and hours scrolling on your phone might feel relaxing now, but what is the cost of your goals and what is the cost of your productivity? Do you understand me? What is the cost of scrolling like that to your goals and productivity? See, the best math you can learn is the ability to step back, to look beyond the immediate gratification or comfort of a choice and calculate its long-term cost. You need to learn that. Why do we struggle with this mathematics? I think we are so consumed sometimes by instant gratification. Let's be honest. We are wired for instant gratification. Our brains crave the dopamine hit that comes from quick wins and immediate rewards. But life is not a sprint, all right? It is a marathon. And every decisions the decisions that brings the most lasting rewards often require patience. It often requires discipline. There is also this short-term thinking that we have. We live in a culture that values speed, values instancy, values immediacy. We are constantly bombarded with messages to act now, buy now, decide now. But when we are focused solely on the short term, we lose sight of the bigger picture. And that is when poor decisions are made. Also, we have this FOMO, the fear of missing out. Sometimes we make impulsive decisions because we are afraid of missing out. We say yes to opportunities that don't align with our goals or values because we don't want to feel like we have been left behind. But FOMO is often a trap. And the real cost of chasing everything is that you end up with nothing meaningful. So we need to learn. We need to learn to calculate future cost. And how do you do that? You pause before you decide. You take a pause. That is the first step, and that is the simple step, but it is also powerful. Pause. When you are faced with a decision, resist the urge to act immediately. Take a moment to think about the long-term consequence. Take a moment to think about the long-term implications. Ask yourself, how will this choice affect me tomorrow? How will it affect me next month? How will it affect me 5 years from now? This pause will give you the space to consider the future cost instead of just the immediate reward. There is a rule that is called 10-10-10. All right, that's one practical rule for calculating future costs, and that is popularized by Susie Welch. 10-10-10. When making a decision, ask yourself, how will I feel about this in 10 minutes? Then ask yourself again, how will I feel about it in 10 months? Then ask yourself, how will I feel about it in 10 years? This particular framework will help you to shift your perspective and think beyond the present moment. Also, you'll need to learn to identify your core values. That's another key to calculating your future cost. Know what truly matters to you. Know what really matters to you. When your decisions align with your core values, they are more likely to lead to a future you are proud of. For example, if health is very important to you, the cost of skipping a workout becomes more obvious. If financial stability is your core value, the cost of unnecessary spending is easier to recognize. So you take time. Take time to define your values. Take time to use those values as a guide for your decisions. Also learn from your experience. See, sometimes the best way to understand the future cost of a decision is to look back at your past. Think about a decision you made a year ago, 5 years ago, or even 10 years ago. What were its long-term consequences? How is it with you now? Use these lessons now to inform your future choices. For example, if you are deciding whether to stay up late watching TV or to go to bed early, the immediate reward for that is when you watch a TV, you feel relaxing and you feel entertained. But the future cost is being tired tomorrow, decreased productivity. You have potential long-term health issues from poor sleep habits. Do you understand me? So by calculating that future cost, the choice to go to bed early becomes easier to make. Let's look about your finances. For example, let's say you are tempted to buy a new gadget that you don't really need. The excitement of owning something new is the immediate reward. But the future cost is less money for savings, less money for investment, or increased financial stress. Whether you consider the long-term impact, when you consider the long-term impact, you might decide to save that money instead. That is how you calculate your future cost. In relationships also, you can do that. You think about how you handle conflict in your relationship. Immediate reward is avoiding a difficult conversation. Might feel easier in the moment. You don't want to rock the boat. But the future cost is you build resentment. The relationship will eventually suffer and trust will erode over time. So in this case, the future cost of avoidance far outweighs the discomfort of addressing the issue right now. Do you understand me? So there is this opportunity cost of inaction. There is an opportunity cost associated with inaction. It's not just the decisions you make that have a cost. It's also the decisions that you avoid. Every time you choose not to act, you are incurring an opportunity cost. You are giving up the potential benefit of what could have been. Now, not applying for that job might cost you career growth. Not pursuing that business idea might cost you financial freedom. Not telling someone how you feel might cost you a meaningful connection, a meaningful relationship. Inaction has a price. So don't let fear or indecision keep you from taking the steps towards the life that you want. So the best math you can learn is how to calculate the future cost of your current decisions. This skill is key to living intentionally, to avoiding regret, and creating a life that you are proud of. Remember, pause before you decide and use the 10-10-10